You suffer more in imagination than in reality. That's what Seneca said almost 2,000 years ago. But doesn't it feel like he could have written that this morning? Because if we're honest, most of our pain doesn't come from what's actually happening. It comes from what we think might happen, what we think people might think, what we assume might go wrong. Our minds, brilliant as they are, can become prisons if we don't learn how to use them well. So the real question isn't how do we think more, but how do we think clearly, calmly, wisely. That's what this video is about. 10 Stoic ways to stop overthinking. Timeless wisdom from Marcus Aurelius and Seneca that can help you quiet the noise, anchor yourself in reality, and finally breathe. This isn't just theory, it's a daily practice, a way of life. Because overthinking doesn't just waste time. It kills peace, it drowns action, and it keeps us stuck. But the Stoics, they lived in the chaos of ancient Rome, facing exile, war, betrayal, and death. And yet, they found stillness. They found focus. You can too. And if you value that kind of clarity, the kind built on thousands of years of practical wisdom, then hit the like button and subscribe to Stoic Preview. Let's get into it. The first Stoic way to stop overthinking is simple, but it's everything. Focus only on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius said it plainly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When we overthink, what we're really doing is trying to control the uncontrollable. We want to know how things will turn out. We want people to react the way we hope. We want the future to guarantee us safety, but none of that is promised. The Stoics taught a clear mental model called the Dichotomy of control. Things within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your values. Things outside your control, other people, outcomes, timing, the past, the weather, the stock market, what's trending online. Overthinking happens when your mind starts living in that second category, when you obsess over things that aren't yours to manage. Seneca said, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." So when your brain starts spinning, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, release it. If it is, then act decisively and calmly. The second Stoic way to stop overthinking is this. Practice negative visualization. In Latin, it was called Premeditatio Malorum. Translation, the premeditation of evils. Now at first, this sounds a little dark. Why would anyone spend time imagining bad things? But the Stoics weren't being pessimistic. They were being prepared. See, we overthink because we fear the worst. We fear loss, rejection, failure. But what if you face those fears on your own terms before they happened? That's what Marcus Aurelius did. He'd imagine losing his position, his reputation, even his life. Not to scare himself, but to remove the sting, to be ready, to stop being ruled by the fear of what if. Seneca said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." The third Stoic way to stop overthinking is to limit your input. Marcus Aurelius never scrolled Twitter. Seneca didn't binge on breaking news, but they still had distractions. Gossip, politics, noise, and they warned against them. Seneca wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." If you're constantly consuming, constantly reacting, your mind can't find stillness. Overthinking is often a symptom of overstimulation. We read too much, watch too much, compare too much, and then we wonder why we can't think clearly. The fourth Stoic way to stop overthinking is to act. Just act. Because action is the cure for paralysis. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." We overthink because we hesitate. We wait for perfect certainty. But Stoicism teaches us clarity comes from movement, not the other way around. You don't need the whole plan. You just need the next step. Take it, then take another. Thinking should support action, not replace it. The fifth Stoic way to stop overthinking is to write. That's right. Grab a pen, open a journal, and get those swirling thoughts out of your head and onto paper. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. It wasn't written for an audience. It was his personal notebook, his way of making sense of chaos, anchoring his values, and checking in with his mind. He didn't just think stoicism, he wrote it. Seneca, too. He wrote hundreds of letters, not just to others, but as a form of reflection. The sixth Stoic way to stop overthinking is to accept fate without complaint. Amor, Fati, the love of fate. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." That's the Stoic spirit. Overthinking often comes from resistance, from fighting what is. We replay things, we rewrite scenes, we imagine what should have happened. But the Stoic doesn't ask, "Why me?" They ask, "What now?" They don't resist fate. They work with it. They use it. Even hardship becomes fuel. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." When we accept, we make space. Space to act. Space to breathe. The seventh Stoic way to stop overthinking is to live in the present moment, not in theory, but in practice. Marcus wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Simple words, deep power. Overthinking drags you backward, into regret, or it pushes you forward, into anxiety. But peace only exists now. This breath, this step, this decision. You don't have to solve everything. Just engage with what's in front of you. The eighth Stoic way to stop overthinking is to embrace voluntary discomfort. Don't run from stress. Rehearse it. Seneca did this often. He practiced poverty, slept on the floor, ate plain food, not because he had to, but because he wanted to remind himself, "I can survive this." Why does this help? Because we often overthink out of fear of losing comfort. But when you've experienced hardship voluntarily, you strip fear of its power. You build mental strength. You realize, "I don't need as much as I thought." The ninth Stoic way is to cultivate gratitude every single day. Marcus Aurelius began many entries with thanks. He was emperor, but he never forgot to be grateful. Seneca said, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." When you're in gratitude, you can't be in fear. When you focus on what you have, you stop spinning about what you don't. Overthinking thrives in lack. Gratitude thrives in abundance. And last, the 10th Stoic way to stop overthinking is to remember death. Memento Mori. Not to be morbid, but to be awake. To remember time is short. Your days are numbered. Your overthinking steals moments you'll never get back. Marcus wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you remember death, you start living fully, boldly, clearly. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter, and you begin to focus on what does. That's the Stoic way. If this spoke to you, if you felt clarity, if you want more of this kind of grounded wisdom in your life, subscribe to Stoic Preview and leave a like. It helps more people find this. It helps this message spread. But most importantly, it reminds you, you're not alone in this journey. Stoicism isn't a cold philosophy. It's a warm fire in the storm. Come sit beside it. Keep going. Keep practicing. Keep living well.